In this first demo, I'll connect the GPS module serially directly to my computer, bypassing the Arduino. So to do that, I can use one of these serial the USB modules, so I can connect my RX and TX lines to the RX and TX lines of this TTL module. But I thought I'd try something different this time and actually use the Arduino as a conduit of the serial signals from the module to the computer without actually any work being done on the Arduino itself. So I'll show you how to do that in a second. First, although I can use the integrated antenna, of course I am indoors right now, I will make use of my external antenna anyway. I'm not going to be able to get a signal in here, and I'll have to open up my window and stick the module outside the window to get a fix. But I'll do the connection now anyway and have it all ready for later. So plug the antenna in the UFL connector. Then I'll plug the module here in my mini breadboard. And what I'll do next is first plug in power. So that's my 5 volts, and that goes to VIN, the VIN pin right here. I'll plug in ground. Of course, it goes to ground. And now for the serial connections, I will plug the receive pin on the module to digital pin 0 on the Arduino, which is the receive pin on the Arduino, and the transmit pin on the module will go to pin number 1 on the Arduino, which is the TX transmit pin as well. So because I've got my T and R pins of the module directly connected to the hardware serial pins of the Arduino, these are going to actually be transferred directly to my computer instead of the USB to serial chip on the Arduino actually making use of the transmit and receive pins. I'll rephrase that. In other words, what I've just said is that my Arduino will not be able to communicate with the computer because its TX and RX pins are now being used by the module. So essentially, this whole thing here, the Arduino doesn't really exist as far as my computer is concerned. What comes through the cable is a traffic that is produced by the GPS module. So what I'll do now is I'll bring up a new empty Arduino sketch, and you can see that there's nothing in the loop, nothing in the setup, and I will upload this sketch to the Arduino. Because there's nothing happening inside the sketch, the Arduino will not try to send any serial communication through the USB port. It's going to free it up. There's not going to be any conflict with the traffic coming from the GPS module. So I'll open up the serial monitor, and you can see now the traffic coming out. So of course there's a lot happening. I'll stop the auto scroll for a second and just notice, for example, we've got a GPRMC sentence, and I wonder what that means. I'm not really sure. So I can go to my NMEA datasheet and have a quick look at it. So this is the sentence called RMC. It's one of the many different sentences that GPS devices produce. And I'm particularly interested in the third field. I want to know what this V means. So if I have a look at the third 1 to 3 field, you can see that this is a status letter. So I'm getting a V, which means void, which means that the GPS module hasn't got a fix to enough satellites, so it can't really produce any meaningful output. So I can wait here for a while until I finally get a fix. But as I said, I'm indoors at the moment, so I doubt that I'll be getting a fix anytime soon. So I'm going to break here for a couple of minutes while I stick the GPS module out of my window and then come back and have a look at some actual data.